made of gold is nice, but Yetzer Hara has a lot of interesting things to do. Convincing ways. So now, why do I mention idol worship? Because every time you see in the Torah, every time you see idol worship, what's right next to it? Shabbat. HaShem, every time he's saying that he's going to punish the idol worshippers, right next to it he's saying he's punishing the people that violate Shabbat. Every time. He's saying that anyone that's violating idol worship is the same thing as someone's violating Shabbat. Same thing. Someone that drives their car on Shabbat, or smokes a cigarette, or turns on the light on purpose, or violates Shabbat on purpose. It's the same thing as the guy that's bowing to the statue every day and praying to him like it's Buddha. Same thing. In Hashem's eyes, it's the same thing. Why it's the same thing? Because if we go back to some of the things we learned in last week's shiur, we said that Hashem, in Parashat Bereshit, He created the heaven and the earth, He created the stars, He gave you the exact number of stars. He gave you the sun, that if it's 1 degree closer to us would burn the earth. If it's 1 degree further to us, we're gonna all freeze to death. He created a solar system so perfect that the earth is the only thing that's out of line with the rest of the planets. He created a world where every day you can see a miracle. It's called rain. Rain. Nobody thinks rain is a miracle. No one thinks rain, okay, rain, natural rain. Rain falls. What's the big deal of rain? Do you know that rain, when it falls, no one thinks it's a miracle because they're used to it. But if they actually think about it, rain drops and no two drops ever touch. So all the way from the sky, tens of thousands of feet above us, there's a cloud that's holding all this water. And the water drops, and it's all by drops, little drops, individual drops. But no two drops ever touch each other. Ever. Until they get to the floor, they never touch each other.
Wow.
They never combine.
No.
Why is this such a big deal?
Even if it's windy?
Even if it's windy. Hashem can handle the wind too.
Oh my God.
What's the big deal? What's the big deal if two water drops touch? What's the big deal?
Lightning. It creates lightning or?
No. Lightning is something completely different. Just the water. Just the water. Just the water drops from the cloud, and until it reaches the ground, or it reaches our head if it falls on our head, it does not meet another drop, ever. What is the big deal of that? That is,
Really, I can't.
this is all in the books. Now you can read it, you can see the same thing.
To understand is so good.
So here's the thing, what's the big deal of this? The big deal is that if two drops connected, then that means that 3 drops can connect. And if 3 drops connect, that means 4 drops can connect. And if 4 drops can connect, we can create a puddle. And imagine if you were sitting there, taking your coffee, you're about to go to work, and a giant puddle of water drops from 30,000 feet on your head. Chas v'shalom, you're dead on the spot.
There is big hell.
Hail also kills. Yeah, they kill. Why are they so big?
They can kill.
Of course, they're meant to. If they're used for that, they're meant to. As a matter of fact, you remind me of a good story. One of the most important things we talked on Shabbat is it talks about Yirat Shamayim. The most important thing that someone has to have is Yirat Shamayim. Fear of God. More important than belief in God. How do we know? After Am Yisrael crossed the Sea of Reeds, Yam Suf, the Torah says, and Am Yisrael feared Hashem, and they believed in Him, and in His servant Moshe. So first it says they feared, and then they believed. Why? Because in order for us to believe in Him, we have to understand to some extent what He is. And if we understand what He is, then of course we're going to be scared. He's everything. Right? So now, how in the Torah,